Hello everyone, I'm Kathy Coslett and this is Cooking Classic. We are at the Culinary Arts Institute at Luzerne County Community College in Nanticoke, Pennsylvania, and we are in the studios of Cooking Classic with Chef Brian Zywicki. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm terrific, thank you.
Good.
You may recognize Brian because he was with us way back when we first started this show. At the time you were a student here at Luzerne County Community College, and today you're actually teaching here. You know, you may remember science teacher, but also fitness guru, right? Okay,
yeah.
personal trainer. Teach some fitness classes as well, correct?
Yep. Do CrossFit classes, kickboxing classes, strength training classes.
So healthy foods, you're concerned more about things tasting very good, but also about being good for you?
Right, and that's part of what we're looking to do at the restaurant. It's American-style cuisine, but with a healthy take on it. And we want to kind of show people and educate people that food can be healthy and taste really great too.
Okay. And on that note, I think we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to be in the Cooking Classic kitchen making pan-seared salmon, Orecchiette pasta, and a very special ragu, right?
Yeah, mushroom
Okay.
ragu.
There you go. We'll see you in just a minute.
Hi, my name is Amber, a student here at Luzerne County Community College with your culinary tip of the day. Today we are blanching, and we are blanching green beans. So first we're going to take our green beans and place them into boiling water. These are going to go for about a minute or so. And a tip on blanching is that when you blanch something, it helps keep their bright, beautiful color and also keeps them nice and crisp. So when they're in the water for about a minute, take them out. It's a very quick process. The water helps shock and keep their nice color. And then you're done. And when you want to serve them, saute them with a little butter and your favorite herbs, and you're ready to go. I hope this tip helped you out, and that's your culinary tip of the day.
Make your life better by Degrees. Choose from over 100 academic and career programs. Go to an accredited college at the area's lowest tuition. Earn your degree or transfer your credits to a four-year college or university. Take your life to the next level. Achieve your career goals and reach your fullest potential at
Luzerne County Community College.
Hello everyone, I'm Kathy Coslett and this is Cooking Classic. For those of you who are just joining us, I am with Chef Brian Zywicki. Tonight's menu, pan-seared salmon.
Pan-seared salmon with Orecchiette pasta and a mushroom ragu.
Okay, what's the first step?
Okay, so the first step is preheat the oven. Preheat the oven to 350 because
Right.
people forget. Second step, we have our water boiling, salted water. Two important things. Water's got to be salted because the pasta really has no taste on its own. And the second, most people don't start with a big enough pot. You need to start with a big enough pot and a lot of water.
All right.
All right, pasta goes in.
Why enough water? I think I know why, but just to let everybody know that that's a serious thing when we're boiling pasta,
Right.
correct?
If the pot is too small, the pasta's going to crowd each other. The starches are going to congeal together. The pasta's going to get stuck to each other. It's just not going to cook properly.
And you're
It needs
not
the room.
going to like the pasta.
Exactly.
It's really
Exactly.
simple, right? All right. So now we have those two steps out of the way, and here we go next.
Okay.
We're going to get the salmon.
Salmon is out.
All right.
So we're going to season our salmon. A little bit of salt.
What type of salmon?
It's Alaskan salmon, wild Alaskan salmon.
Okay.
I would prefer to use that over anything else.
Why is that?
It's sustainable, and that goes along with part of our mission.
Okay.
As opposed to Atlantic salmon, it's just not a very sustainable fish, and the way they raise it, it contains a lot of toxins, and it also poses a lot of issues for the environment in the Atlantic Ocean and for the wild Alaskan salmon.
Okay. So when we are staying healthy.
Staying healthy,
That's
absolutely.
a big part of his life. I think for those of you that don't know, we talked about this. You know, he's a personal trainer. He teaches fitness classes, so it's a big thing. Okay, salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper. And I also recommend when you're cooking meats, fishes, meats, any kind, let them sit out 15 to 20 minutes. Come to almost room temperature before they go in the pan.
Why?
Because if you don't, you get a shock going from really cold to really hot. It tends to toughen up.
Okay, good point. Well taken.
Okay?
Okay.
So that's going to sit on the side.
Okay.
We're going to move to our mushrooms next. I have a mix of baby portobellos and shiitake mushrooms here. So we want to slice, in order to make this mushroom ragu, we're going to slice these baby bellas in half. And then we're going to get a nice fine little dice on them here.
Okay. Oh, they're really nice and white.
They are.
They're nice.
They're very fresh.
Should I have guessed? Very fresh.
And, I mean, coming from Pennsylvania, we are in the mushroom capital.
From a farm near you, correct?
Correct. All right, so baby bellas, diced nice and fine.
Okay.
Right? For the baby bellas, we can use the whole stem. It's tender. Shiitake mushrooms, you don't want to use the stem. The stem comes off on those. It's woody, it's tough, and it's just not very appetizing. So we're going to get rid of those.
I like shiitakes.
I like shiitakes
I like
too.
them
I think
a
they
lot.
have a nice texture to them, a nice meaty flavor. We're not going to dice those up because of that, so we're just going to put a nice little slice on them.
Okay.
All right, mushrooms are all ready to go. All right, we're going to come over to our pan. I have a medium saute pan, large saute pan here,
What?
and we're going to go with a little olive oil.
Okay.
This is an infused olive oil. It's a Tuscan herb, so it's going to add a little extra flavoring to our dish. So we're going to get about a tablespoon.
Any other recommendations on the types of olive oils that people use? And I don't mean the herb infused or anything. I mean virgin, extra virgin. What should they and should they not be using in that hot pan?
Typically in a hot pan, you want to use straight olive oil. You really don't want to use extra virgin. That's best for salad dressings and marinades and that kind of thing.
And
Extra
what
virgin.
does that really mean? Is one any better for you than the other, or
No, it's just
No.
regular olive oil has a much stronger flavor to it.
okay? And that's really the only difference, and it can take a
Right,
higher
the extra
heat.
virgin is a little more processed, so it can't take as high a heat. It's going to
Okay.
start to break down.
Okay.
So we're going to get that pan warm. In the meantime, we're going to come over. Got some nice olives and capers. I'm going to slice those up. Olives, I recommend Kalamata.
Oh, I
Go
love
with a
those.
good pitted Kalamata olive. Nice flavor, nice brininess. Again, just want to slice those up. I like bigger chunks. If you don't like olives, omit them. Don't put them in by
that
all
was
means.
easy.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
like
don't need them.
Don't use them. It's that simple. What else could they use if they don't like olives and they didn't want to use those? Is there something else you would put in its place?
I honestly wouldn't.
No?
I just would not
Just
put
leave it
them
alone?
in. Yeah. You could still use the capers maybe because it's still
Okay.
going to give that brininess
Briny
to it.
taste.
But I feel like it gives it a richer,
Uh-huh.
deeper, flavor.
Now the caper is actually the bud, isn't it?
It
to
is
the olive.
Yes. It's
Okay.
it's not to the olive,
Olive.
but it's actually it's a bud of a flower.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same thing with the capers. We're going to actually give them, just run our knife through them a little bit,
Oh, you make that look so easy.
just to chop those up. That's all. And they could go right in with our olives. All right. So, oil's hot in the pan. All the mushrooms go in.
Mushrooms first.
Yes.
And just put them all in.
All in.
Okay.
It looks like a lot of
I
mushrooms.
got that.
Thank you. Mushrooms are going to break down. They are going to cook and shrink, reduce in size. So it may look like you're starting with a lot. I mean, we're only making a serving here for 2 people.
That's what I was just going to ask
But-
you. So,
Don't worry, because they are going to cook down.
all right, and maybe I just forgot, but how many mushrooms are we talking about if we're talking about serving for 2 people?
Okay, so I have about a cup of diced portobellos and about a
Okay.
half a cup of shiitakes.
Okay.
So we are going to let those saute.
And all of these are ingredients that are really easy to get at the store, so it shouldn't be any big problem
No.
for
Not at
somebody to
all.
run out right after they see this show.
Nope.
Buy all the ingredients
Absolutely
and get
not.
cooking,
Especially,
right?
I mean, today, pretty much all these ingredients at your local store, I mean, are
Yeah.
easily accessible. All right. I'm going to actually add a little bit more olive oil.
Yeah, I was just going to
Mushrooms,
ask you about that.
when you put them in, they're like a sponge. I mean, they soak up everything. So we're going to have to add a little bit more. Again, we're trying to make a little healthier dish, so we don't want to
Overdo it?
overdo it with olive oil.
Olive oil is pretty good for you, though, isn't it?
It
isn't
is,
something
it
that
is.
you need to worry
But,
about
I mean,
too much.
It's a lot of calories. You know, I mean, one tablespoon of it, I mean, is going to have
Cooking,
150
eating, calories. Cooking and calories sort of go together. Start with a C.
All right. So now you see our mushrooms are starting to sweat a little bit here. Especially the baby bellas. They're starting to shrink down a little bit. Starting to get soft and tender. We are going to add in the olives. We're going to let them saute. The olives are going to bring a little juice to the party as well.
Oh, well, that's good. Lots of color, too. That
Yes.
looks really nice.
Yes.
Smells good. Looks good.
So, those are going to
Oh, that
saute
looks great.
just for about a minute,
Okay.
30 seconds to a minute. Let them melt in there with the mushrooms.
Okay.
All right. Now, we want to bring a little bit more flavor and a little bit more depth to the dish. So we're going to go with a little balsamic vinegar. Okay? We're going to make almost like a little balsamic reduction in the pan. Okay? I recommend you go with a good aged balsamic. It's important.
So when you talk about a good aged balsamic, what is someone looking for on the store shelves? What's aged?
It's going to say on it. This
Okay.
particular one has been aged 18 years.
Okay.
You'll find them aged various years, 12, 16, 18 years. The longer it's aged, essentially the thicker it's going to get and the more concentrated the flavors are going to be. And it's almost sweet. You know, I mean, this honestly over a bowl of
Isn't that
ice cream
great?
with
Get out.
strawberries.
Really?
Yes. So just a little bit in
Okay,
here.
you try that and you let us know if you like it. Ice cream aged balsamic vinegar and strawberries.
Yes.
Yeah. It's kind of, yeah, it is very sweet. Like a honey. We had one in our house one time. It was aged 30 years. It was incredible.
It is.
It was amazing.
So that was maybe about a tablespoon
smells good.
of balsamic. And it's going to reduce down really quickly in there. Okay. I want to get our heat back up a little bit higher now. As soon as that balsamic is almost cooked out, it smells so good. If you can smell
it does.
this.
It smells really good.
So
All
the
right.
next thing we want to do, right, now we're starting to get some little bits stuck to our bottom of our pan, right? Super important to deglaze the pan. The nice thing here, people, you know, worry about wine and what kind of wine should we pair with the dish, and you know, with this kind of dish, you know, what kind of wine should we use? Well, I recommend when you're using this dish, a dry red wine. I recommend a Cabernet Sauvignon.
Okay.
The nice thing is, the wine that we're gonna cook with is the wine we're gonna drink with when we eat the meals, right? So, I mean, you don't need to think too much about that.
Okay.
So we're gonna go right in.
Oh my. Okay.
Good amount of wine,
That looks
right? Don't have to be shy with the wine. It's gonna cook down. It's gonna add a tremendous amount of flavor and a tremendous amount of color. We'll let that reduce for a minute. That's why it's important over high heat. All those flavors are going to concentrate. So we're making almost like a Cabernet balsamic reduction here.
Okay.
And it's going to really bring a richness and a deep color to our sauce.
And this will cook for about how long? Just a couple minutes?
Not even. I mean, you can already see it's already
Right.
reduced probably by about half,
Yeah, it is.
right? So from there, we're going to go right to our crushed tomato. Just crushed tomato. We want to get complicated here. I mean, if you have a marinara lake or something, you're more than welcome to use that. But just crushed tomato. We're going to go right in with that.
And about how much crushed tomato do you have here?
This was a whole 15-ounce can of crushed tomato.
Okay.
You might not need that much. You can always add more in the end if you want to.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with about that much.
Okay. There, I got it.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, I think maybe we should take a break, let that cook a little bit, and when we come back, we're going to get to work on the salmon.
Absolutely.
Okay? We'll be back right after this.
of taking it to the next level? Make it happen. Luzerne County Community College offers a quality education at an affordable price. It's the best choice when you're trying to make something of yourself.
Luzerne County Community College makes it happen.
Welcome back to Cooking Classic. I'm Kathy Koslett. I'm with Chef Brian Zywicki, and he is making a pan-seared salmon with orecchiette pasta and a mushroom ragu. So the ragu is finished, and we're about to take the pasta, get that together, and start working on the salmon.
Yep.
So you're working.
Yes.
I'm
Okay.
talking. Right?
So the pasta at this point is pretty much done, right? So the nice thing about this, ragu's done. The nice thing about orecchiette is it really kind of soaks up whatever you put it in. So we can shut our water off. I'm gonna drain our pasta out.
So if someone doesn't have orecchiette pasta, does it really matter, or is there? Should they be using a smaller pasta like that?
I mean, you
shell
could
or
use like a
something?
penny or a shell.
Yeah, I
I mean,
love
whatever
penny.
pasta you like.
Okay.
I just think orecchiette is real nice to us.
Yeah, it looks nice too, doesn't it?
It does, and it has a nice bite to it. You know, it kind of keeps that. So that's going to go right into our mushroom ragu. We'll mix that right in.
Does that mean ears or?
Yeah, little ears.
Little ears?
Little ears, right. So this could go right in. So we don't have to worry about that now. It's not
Okay.
going to overcook in here. This pan is off at this point. This
Okay.
is going to stay hot.
All right, so make sure the pan's turned off.
Pan's turned off.
Otherwise, you
Right. We don't
are
want the
going to have a
pasta to
little bit of a
overcook.
problem, right? Okay.
But at this point, the salmon's going to take minutes.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to move on to our salmon. All right.
And we're using Alaskan salmon.
Wild Alaskan salmon.
Wild Alaskan
Yeah,
salmon.
it's
Little
important.
salt and pepper.
A little salt and pepper on it. It's been sitting out, right? It's come almost to room temperature at this point. That's going to help. We put it in the pan not to tense up and get tough on us. We're going to put our pan on. We want it to be high. We want to sear the outside of the salmon. We want a crispiness, right?
Okay.
And if you buy, I skin this salmon. I'm just not a fan of skin on
Yeah, I'm
salmon.
not
That's
either.
just a personal.
Everyone else in my house loves the skin. They all want the skin.
And that
I don't like it.
gets really nice and crispy. So if you like the skin, keep it on there. It'll look nice on the plate and it'll get nice and
Okay.
crispy. What we do want to do is I'm going to use a little bit of nonstick pan spray here. I want to avoid too much more oil. We don't really need a lot more oil, olive oil. So spray the pan.
But
you
they
get it
could
nice
use
and hot.
olive oil if they want to.
You could absolutely use olive
Okay.
oil. Yeah, I just kind of want to reduce
The
the amount of oil.
calories.
Yeah, just a little bit. Our salmon, we do want to coat it in a little bit of flour.
Okay.
And what that's going to do, people get nervous with fish. I find that people, it's easy to grill fish. That's not, quite as a challenge. But I think when it comes to pan searing, people get nervous because they're afraid it's going to stick and it's going to fall apart in the pan. Your safety measure here, if you will, is to flour the salmon a little
Okay.
bit. And what that's going to do is help to put a little crust on the outside of it, and it's going to help it to not stick. So,
Oh, I never thought about that it would help it not stick.
yes. All right, our pan is hot. How do we know it's hot? You take that salmon,
And it sizzles.
right? Now, the presentation side, which is this side of the salmon, right? We want that to go down first. Right? And you hear that sizzle?
Because you're only going to leave that in there. Well, I have to leave that, or do you have your dish that? Oh,
No,
you're going to
that
put the
could
whole
actually
pan in.
go, yeah.
So that side down because you're going to turn it.
When that comes out,
That's
that's
what's gonna be
what
up.
we're gonna see, right?
Right.
So we want to start with that one down.
Okay.
Now, you see when I wiggle that pan, right? It's not
Yeah,
sticking,
look at that.
right?
Uh-huh.
It's not going anywhere. So
Okay.
we're gonna let it sit on that side for about a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Oven's preheated to 350. The salmon's not gonna cook completely in the pan. If it was, the outside's gonna burn. The inside's not gonna be completely done. The other important thing about salmon is people tend to overcook their fish. People get nervous about fish. And I think salmon should be medium well inside. If you're going to cook it to a temperature, we're going to actually measure the temperature of it. About 135, maybe take it out a little bit before 135.
Okay.
So at this point, we could check on it. Just want to see if it's getting a little bit, and it is. So at this point, we're going to turn it over.
Okay.
Right? And you see, I move it in the pan, right? It's not sticking, right? That's that flour kind of safety blanket there. So you see, it's got that nice golden brown crust on it.
Yeah, that looks really nice.
We're going to flip
That's
it.
beautiful.
At this point, we're going to let it sit in the pan for a couple seconds, and then it's going to go right to the oven.
Okay, and
So-
the oven was preheated at 350,
Oven's
correct?
350.
Okay. And how long will it stay in the oven?
In the oven, 350, maybe 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay.
That's about it.
So that's really fast.
Really fast.
So we're going to take a break. It's going to be a short one, obviously. And when we come back, we're going to put this all together, put it on a plate, and let you try it. See you then.
Hi, I'm Avis. I'm a culinary student at Luzerne County Community College, and this is your culinary tip of the day. Today we're going to flip an egg. This is something that takes practice, and it's fun to do for your family and things. So first we're going to heat up our pan. Things that you might need, things that you're going to need are oil, your eggs, a plate, your pan, and your spatula. Small amount of oil, you don't need a whole lot. You want to let your pan get heated up pretty nicely before putting the eggs in. Then we're going to add our eggs. Now you want to let your eggs settle and get firm. They want to get white and firm so that you have enough ability to, that they're firm enough that you can flip them in the pan. You might want to take your spatula, move them around slightly. Make sure that they are movable for when you do flip them. This is a lot of fun. My nephews and nieces, they just get such a kick out of me when I do this at home. Notice the eggs are pretty firm, solid. Tilt it forward and flip. You're gonna let them cook a couple minutes on this side so that they're white through. I like mine over easy. You might like yours over hard. You might want to cook them a little bit longer. And move them around in your pan again. Make sure you have that movement in your pan. You can pretty much tell looking at your egg to see through if there's any clear still there or not. Lean it forward and flip it back. Turn your heat off and add it to your plate. That is your culinary tip of the day. Enjoy, have fun, show your family. Bon appetit.
Hi, I'm Kathy Coslin, and we are finishing up our pan-seared salmon with orecchiette pasta and the mushroom ragu.
Yep.
We have one step left to the mushroom ragu.
Yes.
Correct?
And this you want to do at the very end, right before you're going to plate it. We're going to add some arugula, nice fresh baby arugula to our pasta. If you don't have arugula, you could use spinach.
Okay.
I like arugula because it's got a spiciness. And it brings a little extra flavor to the party. So arugula's going to go right in. Right, and it looks like quite a bit, but the pasta's warm. This is going to wilt a little bit.
And this is for two, correct?
This is for two, right? The pasta, I mean, this pasta technically serves two, but with the salmon, you could probably cut back on the pasta a little bit and have lunch the next day. With it.
Always thinking, always thinking. And I'm going to guess that you wait till the very end with the arugula or the spinach, whatever you use, so it doesn't totally...
Otherwise, it's going to wilt beyond recognition.
Right.
You want it to still stay green.
Yeah, that looks pretty.
At that point,
it looks
done.
really nice.
You can shut the heat off totally.
Okay.
Right? You're going to plate this up.
Okay.
So the way I like to serve this is to make a nice little... See, the nice thing about orecchiette, when you make this pasta, is that it gets nice and thick.
Uh-huh.
So you can make a nice little mound of it here.
Oh, that looks really good.
And it's not going to go all over your plate.
Okay. I was going to help you and bring that over to you.
It's okay. We'll come to it.
That looks delicious. It really looks nice. It smells good. Looks beautiful. Fresh foods, local markets,
Absolutely.
local
I
farms.
mean, you don't get much fresher.
What else?
Right? And I think that's about enough. Of serving a pasta, I think we tend to overdo it with pasta in this country. We end up with
We
this,
do,
you
don't
know,
we?
we
I
speak
know,
a whole
but
pound to a person.
You can't help it. It's so good.
It is good. And I should say that before we put the pasta in the water, I measured out 2 servings.
Oh, okay.
So I wasn't guessing, I wasn't eyeballing. I measured out 2 servings to make sure that we're not getting too much.
And 2 servings.
2 servings of orecchiette pasta is
how
about
much?
a cup and a half.
All right.
Right?
That doesn't seem like very
doesn't
much,
seem like a
though,
lot,
but
but
it made a lot of pasta.
Remember,
though.
it expands when you cook
Yeah, it really did.
Right.
I would look at that and think, oh, and I'd throw a few more in, maybe another
That's what
cup.
happens. That's a little bit more, and the next thing you know, you have servings for 4 people.
There you go.
Right. So that's done. Get your oven off. Salmon's done.
This smells good.
Don't forget
incredible.
to use
Yeah,
a rag
I
to grab
know.
the pan. No
I've done
idea
that.
how many times.
I just did it the other
I just
night, as a
grabbed
matter
the pan.
of fact. Okay.
So if you see that
This
salmon
looks
now,
great.
it's got a great little crust on the outside.
Too bad you're not right here with us.
And I like to offset that
Okay.
side of the plate.
All right, now let me do this. How's that?
Perfect.
Okay.
Again, just set it up just like that. We're gonna grab our
making me
Parmesan
very
cheese.
hungry.
If
Okay.
you're, if you don't like Parmesan cheese, you can always put it on the table and let people put it on themselves. I like it on there before you serve it. I just think it looks nice.
Okay. Looking good.
And then finally,
Parsley.
a nice fresh little note of just a nice little bit of parsley. And that's it.
Well, that looks amazing. It looks absolutely amazing. We thank you so much for joining
Anytime.
us.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. We hope you'll come back again, and we hope you'll tune in again, too, to Cooking Classic. See you next time.